Welcome class. We will continue with the class 11 legal studies series chapter 2 we have started, and I think we have covered 2 lecture videos on chapter 2. Now it's the third one in the line, and our topic is aristocracy. We were studying about the different forms of government, right? How Aristotle and another political philosopher classified the types of governments on the basis of the population that it has and on the basis of the rule that it governs. So we have studied about monarchy. Second is aristocracy. Word aristocracy originates from Greek word aristo, which means the best, and another Greek word gretin, which means to rule. So aristocracy is derived from 2 Greek words. If you divide this word into 2, aristo and keratin. Okay, so keratin means to rule and aristo means the best. So as far as this version of the word is concerned, the meaning comes out to be the best way to rule. In aristocratic form of government, political powers of the state is vested in hands of few people. It is a form of government in which relatively small proportion of people determine the policies of government. It can be a combination of priests, soldiers, professionals, landowners, or men of wealth. So generally what was the scenario in the earlier times, that the economically powerful people or economically well people, that is the rich people, they were considered to be of the higher rank in the society. Okay, higher rank people in the society were those who had a greater amount of wealth concentrated with them. So wealthy people or soldiers, professionals, or the church, the clergy, that is right. So all these people can be having the power to rule the country. They have the power to determine that what could be the policies of the government and how the administration or how the governing has to be taken out. As defined by Gardner, aristocracy is the form of government in which relatively a small proportion of citizens have a voice in choosing public officials and in determining public policies. So aristocracy is a form of government in which the power of making government policies and of governing, that how government has to rule, that all lies in the hands of few people, and also few citizens only have the chance or have a voice, so that they can choose whom they want to rule upon themselves, means who they want to be the ruler. So that is chosen also by a small portion of citizens only. Those few people are chosen from among the people of state on varied basis such as wealth, education, religious positions, family, succession, physical force, etc. Ruler is considered as a class separate and superior from the ruled. So ruler is considered to be a separate class and he is considered to be superior from the people on whom he is ruling. तो ruler को एक अलग ही रैंक, अलग ही क्लास माना जाता था और वो हमेशा सुपीरियर होता था उन बंदों से जिन पर वो रूल कर रहा है. Next is dictatorship. In the words of Alfred Cobbin, it is the government of one man who has not obtained the position by inheritance, but either by force or consent or a combination of both. He possesses absolute sovereignty, that is, all political power emanates from his will and it is unlimited in scope. It is exercised in an arbitrary manner by decree rather than law. The authority of dictator is not limited in duration, is not subject to any other authority, for such a restriction would be inconsistent with his absolute rule. So dictatorship, as you all know, it is happening. You may have studied about Adolf Hitler. He was a dictator. You have heard some names of various famous dictators that the world has seen. So dictatorship is the government of a single man. Okay, it is a one man army sort of thing. Only a single person rules the government. He has absolute powers. There is no one to restrict him. His powers are unlimited and absolute. No one can interfere, no one can intervene or restrict the power or the authority which he is having under his control. The authority does not has a fixed tenure, means you cannot say to a dictator that your 5 rules are over, now you go, leave the throne. So this can't be said to the dictator, because if you say this or if you do this, then that would be a violation of the absolute rule or absolute power that he is having. So Absolute power, unlimited power, a single person contains in a dictatorship, and that power he has not got by inheritance, by heredity उसको नहीं मिला है, either by force, by attacking a country, or by capturing it and killing the ruler, the previous ruler. The previous ruler may have killed, and then the second one, or the dictator, has got the throne, and then he is decided to rule the country alone. So that is dictatorship. Dictator form of government is ruled by a single person or a determined set of individuals. He controls and exercises the political powers. He occupies position by force, invasion, intervention, militarism, in contrast to monarch. Now monarch is constitutional. Constitution के नीचे होता है monarch, but डिक्टेटरशिप में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. एक सिंगल ही बंदा होता है जो कि अपनी मिलिट्री ले आए और फिर एक कंट्री पर अटैक कर दे और वहाँ का वो राजा बन जाए, या फिर सारे पॉलिटिकल पास ऑब्वियसली उसके अंडर ही होंगे. फोर्स से, अटैक से, किसी को एनेक्स करके किसी टेरिटरी को मिलिट्री रूल इस्टेब्लिश कर देना, दैट ऑल इज डिक्टेटरशिप. पाकिस्तान मुशर्रफ he established military rule in Pakistan, if you have heard this thing of. His dictates are law of the country, means whatever he tells, that becomes the law. He implements them, adjusts them according to his will. He is only the legislature, he is the executive, and he is the judiciary. He makes the laws, he implements them, and if there is any dispute, then he is only for the resolution of that dispute. He holds absolute power. He is not accountable to anyone. Modern dictatorship plays the role of totalitarian states. Totalitarian states we have covered in the previous chapter. If you haven't seen, or if you have forgotten, then please watch that video. It's kept in the playlist, and then you will be able to recall it. So dictator has absolute power. He is the legislature, executive, and judiciary in his own. He is not accountable, that is responsible or answerable to the citizens of state. किसी को भी वो answerable नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो by war या by force आया है अपनी throne पे, और वो एक single army की तरह, मतलब एक one man army के type का है, तो वो किसी को भी जवाबदेही देने के लिए फोर्स नहीं होगा. ठीक है, उसने कोई गलत काम किया, कोई आर्बिट्री लॉ बनाया, तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि लोग सड़क पे आ गए तो अब उसको जवाब देना पड़ेगा, या कोई सिटीजन पूछ रहा है कि आपने ऐसा लॉ क्यों बनाया, इसकी क्या वैलिडिटी है, क्या मोटिव है इसको बनाने का, क्या ज़रूरत थी, तो वो ऐसा किसी को भी जवाब देने के उसमें नहीं है. ठीक है, ही इज़ नॉट आंसरेबल टू एनीवन. Now democracy, Pericles, Greek leader, defined democracy as a form of government in which people are powerful. So in monarchy, monarch is powerful. In dictatorship, the dictator or the ruler is the absolute person who has all the powers. So democracy is a form of government only in which the citizens or the common public is the one who has more power than the government. Barres defined a democratic form of government as one where ruling power was vested not in a particular class but in community as a whole. Means rule करने की जो power है वो किसी particular class of people या किसी particular person के पास नहीं है, बल्कि वो पूरी community, पूरी general public के पास है. Democratic form of government is most popular in modern civilized states. Word democratic, again this is also from the Greek word demos, meaning people, and kratia means rule, that is rule by a popular vote, means rule of the people. You very well know what a democracy is, right? Your own country has it, so no need to go deeper in that. Abraham Lincoln, a former president of US, in his speech at Gettysburg, defined democracy as a government of people, by people, and for the people. So remember this thing, sometimes it is asked that who gave this slogan, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So it is Abraham Lincoln. Government of people implies equal distribution of political powers and influence among citizens of state. Government by the people implies participation of all citizens in forming a government. Government for the people implies the rule of government for promotion of public welfare. So of the people means that government will be responsible that whatever decisions it is taking, that is for the welfare of the people, and it gives equal distribution of resources or powers to all the citizens of the country. Government by the people means government will be chosen or elected by the participation of all citizens in the elections that happen in regular intervals of time, and they only will decide that whom they have to give vote, and then that person will only be the ruler, or that person will only form the government. Government for the people means that obviously they will work for the welfare of the common public at large. Democracy exists in two major forms: direct or pure democracy and indirect or representative. So democracy has two types: direct or pure and indirect or representative. As defined by Garner, pure democracy, so-called, is one in which will of state is formulated or expressed directly and immediately through the people in mass meeting or primary assembly, rather than through the medium of delegates or representatives chosen to act for them. That means a pure democracy is one wherein the will of the people, that is the choice of the people, is expressed directly, and they directly make the policies or they directly rule, rather than they select some people who will be taken as or who will be considered their representatives, or delegates means representative only. So they will gather in a public meeting. Like what happens in a direct democracy is they will gather at a public place, and therein they will take the decision that okay, now this thing is lacking, so we will make a policy on this thing, and then that will be implemented as a law. So they directly come together, express their opinions, and then they form the rules accordingly, okay, rather than they wait and they elect some representatives of theirs and they wait for them to frame the laws. So direct democracy is wherein the common people themselves collect at a public place or so, and directly they express that what they want, and they do not wait for the delegates or representatives to act on behalf of them. India, on the other hand, has indirect form of government, because here through elections we select a particular political party, and people give vote to the political party whom they want to come in power, and after that the party forms, the party who has got majority of votes forms the government, and so who is the government? Government is the representative which the people have chosen. That we will not be able to carry on the meetings, like life is going on at a fast pace in this scenario, so we will not be able to come together at regular intervals in a public place and take decisions for the welfare of the nation. So I am appointing you as my delegate or as my representative to take the decisions on my behalf. So whatever is the welfare of the nation, whatever is in the interest of the public at large, decisions or policies or rules and regulations you have to frame on my behalf, okay? So the political party or the governments which the people are choosing in India, that government is nothing but the delegates of the people, okay? Political power is in the hand of citizens of the state as a whole to enact legislations, to administer regulations, and citizens by common vote elect their public officers. This is referred to as initiative, plebiscite or referendum. Referendum means एक तरीके से vote होता है. The common people only vote and decide that what legislation or what rules or regulation they want to frame. As I said, as I explained you, वही चीज़ लिखी है. This form of democracy operated in Greek city-state, Athens during 4th and 5th century BC, and in Rome during early stages of Roman polity as an ideal system of popular participation. This form of democracy is not possible in states having large population and territory. In contemporary times, this form of democracy is prevalent in provinces of Switzerland. The voters meet in open-air parliament known as Federal Assembly to deliberate upon and decide public affairs by way of initiative, where a specified number of voters prepare a bill for acceptance or approval by legislature or general public. This form of democracy means the direct form of democracy is not possible in today's life, because there is a huge population that states have, right? And the life is also a very fast rate going on. So this form of democracy is not possible for the states that have large population and territory, because that large population, all they will not be able to collect at a particular place and at the same time. that is asked for them. But in today's scenario, this form of government is found in some of the provinces or territories of Switzerland, and all the people, they meet in an open parliament session which is known as Federal Assembly. There some group of people, they make a bill, okay, and that bill is presented before the public that has gathered in that open parliament session. Therein they decide that whether they want to vote in favor of it or against it. So the bill is presented before the general public or the voters, that you will approve it or disapprove it by votes, and then if it gets majority of votes, then obviously that bill will be approved, it will be passed. If not, then it will not be passed, and that bill will become the rule if it is passed. If approved, it becomes law. Obviously, referendum is where bill passed by legislature is forwarded to voters for final ratification. So initiative is when the group of people prepare a bill and they present it before the general public or the legislature for approval or disapproval. If it is approved, then it will become law, and referendum is the second stage of initiative, wherein that same bill is passed to the legislature, wherein that bill is passed by the legislature and it gets forwarded to the voters for final ratification, final signature, final approval के लिए वापस पब्लिक के पास जाता है, वहाँ पर भी वोट देते हैं वो लोग. The term plebiscite is used where an important issue could not be decided by the government and is decided by the votes of people. Voters recall their elected representatives when they are not satisfied by their conduct. So plebiscite is another voting system wherein plebiscite तब किया जाता है जब गवर्नमेंट किसी भी, जैसे बहुत सेंसिटिव इशू है, बहुत सेंसिटिव येट इम्पॉर्टेंट इशू है और उस पर गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रही है, तो वो वोट करवाती है कि देखें लोग क्या चाहते हैं, और जो लोग चाहेंगे उसी हिसाब से वो कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. एंड वोटर्स दे चेंज देयर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, व्हेन दे आर not satisfied with the conduct or with the works that they have done. You may have seen governments get change time and on, right? This was all about direct democracy. From indirect democracy, we will be continuing in our next lecture. Thank you.